Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Phoebe. Today we're going to be looking at my favorite mainstream holiday polishes. I've been working on this video all week, picking out my very favorite things to get your nails super festive for this holiday season. I guess I'm not dressed very festively, but our nails are about to get very festive. So basically this video is going to be saturated with beautiful red, green, gold, a little bit of blue and silver in there. So many good polishes. So we have lots to chat about. I'm going to be swatching them with you so you can see how they go on, talk with you about the polishes as we go, and I'm really pumped to maybe remind you about some shades that you haven't worn in a while, or give you some ideas of some stocking stuffers you want. And I hope you just have some fun hanging out with me today. So let's talk holiday. We are going to start with red, and I think I'm going to start with red with gold shimmer. So I have some really large flecked gold shimmer and then some more subtle. So let's just begin. I'm super excited for all of these shades. All right, we're going to start with OPI DS Indulgence. This one is just like my original fave red with strong gold shimmer, and then I've collected a few since then that are similar to this, but this one is like my OG, and I just love red with gold for holiday. So along the same vein here, we have Zoya Sophia, which is maybe a slight more, like a little bit more berry leaning in the base of the red, but very, very similar and not quite as dark in the base. Super sim. Then we have In a Gingersnap from Essie, and they had a Christmas collection that I believe had this polish in it, and I am recommending almost all of those shades for you today. So this one is probably the largest particle of these reds with gold, and it stands out like the most. It's really, really bright, glowy when you have it on. So then I have one shimmer for you that's not large particle, and this one's called Ring in the Bling. And so if you want like a smooth gold shimmer, then go for this one. So totally different look. As you can see, we have 4 very similar colors of red here for the bases. And I'm just going to be doing one coat of things today because I think you can get the gist from just the one coat if something is like really appealing to you. If something is super, super sheer, I'll go ahead and do a second coat. But there are those 4 reds with gold shimmer. Next, I'm going to do some red cream / jelly plain reds. So this first one is coming from the very recent Orly holiday gifting trio that I swatched on my channel, and I think it is fab. So I'm just gonna go ahead and share this one in place of like many, many beautiful red jelly shades because it is currently being released and advertised, and I figured it might be easy for you to snag, especially since I'm also recommending 2 other polishes from that trio. So this one is Orly's Monroe Red. Then this next one is if you want like a really, really bright hot red. So it's like a neon red. And this is from China Glaze. This was a limited edition polish that's called A Sin. And this is the most like orangey bright red I would recommend for this season. This is if you want to go with like a little bit less traditional for a Christmas red, but it's just the formula is so good and it's really, really super bright. Now that I'm putting this on, I can't remember if this is one that stained me. I will definitely let you know here in just a second. Then I have a bit of a more serious red. So we're kind of covering the gambit here with these red creams. This is from the Giver collection, and this is Scene Red. And this one is going more towards an oxblood, brick red. And so again, like we have a classic Christmas red jelly there. Then we have something if you want to go like really bright. Now we have if you want to take the note really warm and a little bit more serious and just give that deep kind of sultry brick red. And then if you want to do a little bit more of a berry red, we have Essie Dress to Kilt. And this one is also a little deeper, and it's going towards burgundy. And I think this one is awesome. I really loved the collection that this came from a long time ago as well. I think we might have the green from this collection in here today too. So there are 4 awesome cream options for you. All right, so these next 4 are not creams or really necessarily shimmers with gold, reds with gold shimmer, but all really, really fun too. So we have some glitters in here. We have some different shimmer and some micro flakies. First, I'm gonna start with 2 hollow red polishes. This first one is Zoya Everly, and then we're gonna look at a very similar red hollow from OPI as well. So this one is what you want to go with if you want a jelly with a scattered micro flaky hollow for your holiday mani. So that is a really, really great option. You definitely will want the 2 coats there. And then this OPI one is called Paint the Tinseltown Red. And this one is more of a linear holographic with more of an opaque base. It has linear holographic and it has kind of like a glass fleck twinkle. The whole collection that that these hollows came from was super great. So there's Paint the Tinseltown Red. And then kind of going in this same line, we have Sinful Shine's Poison Apple. Now this one is if you want like a chromey red. So if you want it kind of similar to this, but you don't need the hollow, this one is super bright and reflective. So I really, really like it for a very fun metallic holiday mani. So this is Sinful Shine Poison Apple. And then another one that is just gorgeous for holiday season is Zoya Amal. And this is my one matte red that I'm recommending to you. It has red shimmer in it, and then it's gonna dry matte. So if you put a top coat on it, it will look like this. And then if you let it dry down, you're gonna see in a second how it dries naturally. So here are these 4, and then I have 3 China Glaze red, and we're done with red. So the first of the 3 China Glaze reds is a red micro glitter in a classic red jelly base. It is called Deadly Desire. This was not promoted for holiday season, but I think it's perfect for this season. So again, it's a little deeper, and it's the only one that has glitter that I'm recommending for today. And then I have actually 2 polishes from the China Glaze Grinch collection. I thought that whole collection was pretty darn awesome. This first one does have the red and yellow combination, but the yellow in here is a little bit bigger. It's like either a micro glitter or a micro flaky. This one's called Ho Ho No, and it's a very warm red, and then it has that micro glitter, I think, in there. And I think it's awesome. You do want to make sure you get lots of juicy top coat with this one because it does have all that micro glitter in there. And apparently my bottle might be drying up just a little bit. So I'm just going to do some restorative polish drops, and just so fun. And then the last red is also, like I said, from the Grinch collection, and it's called You're a Mean one. And this one actually has like an indigo base. Think Every Week is Swatch Fest. It's kind of similar to that, or This Is Why I'm Hot from Moonshine Manny. But then the red shimmer. So similar to that, as you can see, it's going on very purple, but once you have it built up in 2 coats, you can see all that red shimmer. So, okay, I guess I'm recommending you one purple polish for today. Actually, I have one other one. No, but for real though, when you build this up in 2 coats, it's gonna look a little bit more red and not as purple. But I do really, really like that one from that collection as well. And you can see how Amal down here is nice and matte, and I just love it. Here's a second coat of You're a Mean one, just so that you can, actually I'm just trying to convince myself that it actually looks red. It really looks red in the photos that I took of this when I originally reviewed the collection. One little purple guy stole the show. So let's get into golds. I'm going to start with the very yellowy warm golds. This first one is Zoya Kerri. This is just so beautiful. These first 2 are micro flaky gold shimmers, and it's just a very buttery, sunny golden color. So if you want to go ultra bright gold for this season, this one is fab. And as you can see, it's in a very loose base. There's actually no color in the base, so you're just building up that shimmer, and it looks so good when you build it up at 2 coats. So I really, really love Kerri. The next gold shimmer that I have for you is very rummy. It's almost like going towards bronze. This is Morgan Taylor Gunter's Get Down, one of the coolest yellows that I swatched in the last year. It is almost orange, like I said. It's very amber toned, but it's just like very beautiful, again, micro flaky shimmer. This one does have a yellow pigment in the base, just light gold pigment in the base, and it's just super beautiful at 2 coats. So those are 2 of my favorite gold micro flakies from Mainstream. Now I have 2 very like basic, like classic gold, where it's not too yellowy, metallic shades for you. This first one actually comes from the new Wonka collection. This one is called Wonka, and this one has some little kind of sparkly flecks of shimmer in there, and it's just has great coverage. It's a great color. This is a good yellow if you don't want it to be too loud or too in your face. I do not mind in your face yellow. I love yellow so much. I would love to wear it all. I love to wear it all year round, but especially for holiday, it's super, super great. So that is Wonka. And then lastly, this one is recently from the Orly, one of the Orly gifting trios that I swatched. It's called Luxe. So you did see me share this really recently, but this one's even a little bit more muted of a gold. So 4 very different options here for you of gold, metallic-y, shimmer, micro flaky buttes there. Oh, they're all so, so pretty. So next I have 2 really beautiful gold, light golds for you, and then kind of a wild card. All right, the first of the super light white golds is one of my favorite polishes that was released from a Mainstream brand in the last few years, and this is Orly Ephemeral, and then a bunch of brands copied it, but this was the first one that came out. Now, whether Orly copied somebody else and just released it sooner, I have no idea, but this is the first one that I swatched that looked just like this. And so here we go. It does have a clear base, and so you're just building up that super awesome shimmer on top of each other. And then what happens is as you layer it, so you could go for a softer look like this, but then as you layer it, that shimmer just complements and complements as you put it together, and it's so gorgeous. I love it as like a soft, barely there gold like this, or if you really want to make it a powerhouse and layer more, just go for it. Next we have Twinkle in Time from Essie, and this one actually has white in the base, and then it has a micro flaky gold shimmer, and I just think that they did a great job with this one. This one might be from that collection again that I was talking about, that Essie released, that winter collection. just look at that awesome coverage and that formula, how that went on in one coat. Oh, so good. So they're actually very similar, but the Essie has the white in the base. And so it just goes for, you know, what your preference is for that day, opacity wise, or if you want any white covering up that shimmer. Last up for the golds, this is my wild card because this gold is so pretty, but it does lean green on the edges. So if you really don't like your gold to have any green in it for holiday, you probably won't like this one, but I think it is so cool. So this is Million Mile Hues, and it's gonna give you more of like that chromy, foily look rather than the where you can see all the particles. But there's this little green reflect in there, and it's so beautiful. So if you wanted something a little bit different, that one is one of my faves. We are moving into greens, and I am so excited. This is probably the most polishes that I pulled, maybe just slightly edging out red. I have so many good ones here for you. Okay, we're gonna start with a classic. This is called Christmas Gone Plaid. It is so good. If you don't have this one on standby for your fall and holiday season, you really need to snag it. It has such a great formula. It is such a great classic Christmas tree farm shade. Goes on beautifully in one coat if you're super duper careful. So yeah, that we're starting with creams. That's Christmas Gone Plaid. It's on the darker side. Now also on the darker side, but a little bit more of a jelly formula. This is Last Chance from Sinful Colors. And yeah, I don't know how easy these Sinful Colors are to find, but if you wanted something a little bit squishier, if you're doing more of a jelly mani, and this one's like a little bit lighter in the base because of the jelliness of it. Yeah, super great classic green shade there. Now we have a green from China Glaze called Holly Day. Classic Christmas green cream here. This one's like a harder, a more robust cream formula. So it has a lot of white in it basically. And so we're going a little bit lighter here, and then we're gonna go even lighter with one more. And so that is really great classic. And we're starting out with all just plain cream shades if you don't want to add any shimmer or sparkle or hollow or anything. So there's that one. And then the lightest option I have for you is Envy the Adventure. And this one's if you want to go like really light and bright with your Christmas green without being like full on grass, but it is getting close to a grass green. So this is for if you needed something lighter for your manis that you're planning for this holiday season. So there are those four awesome creams. Okay, next we're gonna move into green glitters. So this first one is called Running in Circles. This is a polish from when I very first started getting into polish. I remember the Cirque du Soleil collection from China Glaze, and this is just a really beautiful, highly reflected, like light reflecting green glitter in the green jelly base. My brush is getting wonky after all this time, and the base is getting a little thicker, but hey, it's hanging on, and it's an awesome green glitter that will be so great for holiday. Then we have this green from the Grinch collection. Again, like I said, that was an awesome collection. This is called Grinchworthy. And this one is more of going towards a Grinch green, kind of a spring green. So definitely lighter, more yellow. And really beautiful reflective glitters in here as well. There's yellow glitters along with the green. Well, they're gold glitters. So, and this one doesn't have a very strong color in the base, if any. And then you're gonna want lots of top coat with that one. Then we're going darker, and this is some green and gold hollow, and it's called Winter Holly. This is in a clear base, and so you want to just either layer this on like I'm doing here, or you could sponge it on. But once you have this one up to full coverage, it is such a beautiful, like deeper evergreen glitter for holiday season. So I wanted to include it just to remind you, if you have this in your collection, to get it out and wear it for this holiday season. It a little bit looks like a mess right there, but you can imagine laying that up in 2 to 3 coats and it's a beautiful darker green glitter. And then this next one is a kind of bluish green glitter. Hollow again, we have Free to Be Sesame from one of the Sesame Street collections. I think they had 2. And so again, we just have this micro glitter bomb, blue-green base. So if you wanted it to be slightly blue leaning, it's definitely green, not blue or teal, but it's slightly blue leaning in comparison to the others. Totally different, 4 different glitters here for you. Those middle 2 are looking like a mess without top coat right now. I'm gonna do another coat on Winter Holly so you can get a better idea of how that polish is gonna look, because you're not gonna wanna wear that at 1 coat. So like I said, you could sponge this on to give a really full coverage look for the dark green glitters that they put in here. But there's hollow in there too, so you're getting like some pops of red and gold. There we go. Now you can see why I like this one so much. It's so pretty when you build it up. So there's our glitters. Next I have 2 Zoya greens for you. One is going to be a pixie dust formula and one is a matte polish. And so I guess this one is technically glitter. This one's called Elphie. And my bottle appears to have gotten really runny somehow. Maybe it was like this originally. I haven't put this on in a minute. But this is their pixie dust formula, which is their textured polish. And so it's a very sparkly textured component in there, and mine's all running in my cuticles. There we go. Quick swipe of the nail fixes that up. Next we have the matte option that I have for you, and this looks so awesome with that red matte I shared with you before, which is called Amal, and this is called Honor. So it's always going to be a favorite of mine anyway. That's my daughter's name, but I think it is a fantastic Christmas green, and it dries matte. So if you like a matte look like I do, this one, especially combined with that Amal, is just so great. So there's those 2. I have 4 greens with gold shimmer. Look at, I'm really, really drawn to that gold shimmer. For holiday season, like so much has gold shimmer in it, and I'm not mad about it. So we're gonna start with Green with Jealousy from China Glaze. Now this is a kind of tealy, evergreen tree kind of base and then gold shimmer. So obviously not marketed as a Christmas color, but I love it for Christmas time. Love, love, love it. I think it has a perfect formula too. It's not too thick. You build up those 2 coats of that super sparkling shimmer and it's just perfection. So if you're wanting something a little bit more blue leaning, that is a great option. Next I have 2 Essie greens. Let's go with the more traditional Christmas color, and then I'll show you 2 that are not like really what you think about classic Christmas green, but I love them. So this first one is Sweater Weather. Again, we're still in the gold shimmer territory. So this one is it is a classic green that's like slightly olivey, but oh, it's so beautiful. Look at that 1 coat, so easy peasy. Oh, I just love it. This has been such a fun video to get ready for. I just love looking for my favorites of stuff because it reminds me what I want to pull back out. And I hope it is inspiring you as well with some polishes that you maybe haven't visited in a while. Okay, so these last 2 Essie greens with gold shimmer, like I said, they're a little bit wild cards. This first one is High Voltage Vinyl. I love this polish so much. If you want to do a little bit of a Christmas grungy green manicure for your holiday parties or your holiday looks, this one is so fab. Wear this from the end of August through what, February, March, wear this constantly. I love it so much. So very dark, a grungy green with gold shimmer, just perfection. Okay, last up, I have a minty green for you. And I don't normally think of minty green as Christmas time, but this again comes from that Essie collection I was referring to earlier. So it was called Winter Trend. It was from 2022. We already looked at In a Gingersnap from that collection. This one is called Peppermint Condition, and it's just a barely light mint green in that base with that beautiful gold shimmer. And this gold shimmer is in basically every polish in that collection. So we also saw it in Twinkle in Time. I have one more from that collection to share with you if you yeah, I just think the whole collection's fabulous. So definitely recommend. So there is our dark grungy green if you want to go with, and then our light minty green. Okay, I have 3 blues and a purple to share with you, and then we're going to move into silver, and then we will be done. So the first one I want to share is Saint Marks the Spot from OPI. I actually didn't have a ton of OPI recommendations in here for you, did I? But that's okay. Obviously this is not an all-inclusive video. I just not so quickly went through all of my polish and pulled stuff that either I remembered loving at the time or looks, when I was looking at my Instagram, I was like, yes, that is the vibe. So this one is, I have 3 dark blues for you. And this one is the lightest, I would say, out of those 3. Maybe not so traditional for everybody to wear blue for Christmas time, but I really love a blue and silver or blue and gold mani for Christmas. So St. Mark's the Spot looks stunning at 2 coats. That is one that definitely needs that second coat though, so I might come back and give that another coat. Next up we have Zoya Gen. This is glorious. Super dark deep Christmas blue. For me, a blue for Christmas needs to be on the dark side, but not quite navy. So this is Gen. See what I mean? It's like royal, it's a dark royal blue, but not quite navy. And it is beautiful. So if you want some frosty freezing fingertips for your holiday manis, these are my 3 blue options for you. The last one being China Glaze New Year, New Boo. And this one is the deepest, maybe the most going towards navy, but it's so shimmery. I'm choosing to think of this more as like a deep royal blue with a kind of a tiny bit of a blurple feel, but the formula on this is so easy. Out the door, 1 coat, put your favorite Moonshine Mani top coat on, and you've got just like stunning deep frostbitten nails. I'm going to put a second coat on St. Mark's the Spot. I really love that one. I want you to be able to see the full look of that beautiful kind of cerulean, like a little bit deepened cerulean. I just love it. And all 3 of these are shimmers, so they're glowy and glorious. So there is St. Mark's the Spot. Now I have 1 purple for you, and that's because I really don't think of wearing purple necessarily for Christmas. I do think of wearing it all the time because I love it, but this purple also comes from that Winter Trend collection from Essie, and I love that whole collection. So this one is Sugar Plum Fairy Tale. There's a pink in that collection and a purple. They look pretty similar. This is the one that's slightly more purple leaning and my preference out of the 2, but oh, it's just so beautiful. See what I mean? It barely even looks purple. It basically looks like you're wearing a gold polish, but to be fair, it does have a purple base, and I'll just show you the bottle so you believe me. It's purple in there. So those are my 4 blues and purples. Let's get into silver, and then I'll let you go. All right, so I have 6 silver hollow glitters to share with you from mainstream brands. If I'm gonna wear a silver for holiday, I'm gonna have it be hollow. And then I have 2 glitter toppers at the very end. So we're gonna start with the OG, which is Orly Mirror Ball. The reflective hollow glitters that they included in this formula are so beautifully reflecting of the full range of the rainbow, which is what you want from a hollow glitter. Some of these you're not going to be able to see the rainbow quite as much, but they're still holographic and still very beautiful. So this is the first one that I remember just falling in love with, a mainstream silver hollow glitter, and thinking, yes, somebody did it. Somebody is reaching their toe into indie territory and making a fantastic hollow glitter. Now there might have been some before I came onto the nail polish scene, which really I didn't really get super into nails, to be honest with you, till 2012. And this was the first one that I was like, yeah, I even remember when I was at Rite Aid and when I found this polish. So this is Orly Mirrorball. If you can't find this, I do have a Project Dupe It from Moonshine Manny that is very similar to this, but I'm also going to show you 5 other mainstream silver hollows, so you might be able to find at least one of these. One of the reasons that this Orly Mirrorball stands out from some of these other ones is it has linear hollow in the base, and it has the hollow glitters that are really quite reflective with the rainbow colors. So that's one of the reasons that that's a favorite for me. This next one also has beautiful hollow glitters that they included in here that are very effective. This is China Glaze Glitterific, and unfortunately my bottle really dried up, and I'm trying to convince it to come back to life, but it's kind of a mess right now. But I think we'll still get the effect here. So this one does not have linear hollow in the base, but it is really chock full of some great hollow glitters. So you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes you'll try a hollow polish, a hollow glitter polish, and the glitters just aren't that fully rainbow in appearance. It doesn't really look like a full hollow rainbow, but some glitters really do. These two have them. This has like 4 times as much glitter as this one. That's because this is linear hollow and glitter, and this one is just the glitter. So next, let's look at probably the mainstream brand out there that is the best at hollow is Color Club, and this is Break It Up. For some reason, Color Club charges a lot for their hollow polishes. I understand that for like linear hollow, but as far as bang for your buck, sometimes the Color Club is not the best budget friendly, but this polish is really, really good. So this is very similar to this. This has a slightly grungier gray linear hollow in the base, as you can see, and this is like brighter, sparklier, but they're both linear hollow with hollow glitters, and the formula on both of these is very smooth. So these are awesome. If you can't find this, this is a very close dupe from a mainstream brand for it. Super great. So that one's called Color Club Break It Up. The next 3 silver hollows that I have are micro flaky hollows. And we're gonna start with Orly Tinker Thinker Winker. I don't know what that's from, but that's the name of it. So I'm gonna pop that down here. These scattered hollow flakies are gonna give you a more subtle, softer look on the nail. The hollow appearance isn't going to be quite as loud or obvious in these flakies, but it is a really pretty look on the nail. So that's one from OPI that I think is good. And then Essie's version of that kind of look is called Rock Your World. This one looks a little bit grungier on. Again, the component that they used is just like a dirtier silver look that they were going here for this collection, but I think it's really good, and you actually get quite awesome coverage. Come to think of it, this one probably has some linear hollow and those hollow flakies in there. So that's Rock Your World from Essie. And then the final silver hollow that I want to share is Zoya Alicia, and this one is so beautiful. It's not going to give you as much hollow rainbow as some of the others, as some of the glitters, but is really soft and beautiful. And it has gold shimmer in the base, and it is a very fine shimmer, so it just looks like your nail is glowing with some gold effervescence through that delicate silver hollow flaky, and it's really, really pretty. Okay, so we are going to do 2 glitter toppers. As far as holiday manis go, I don't have a ton of glitter toppers that I love that are from mainstream brands. I usually don't feel like they did like an awesome job with it. However, there is one main exception, and then I have another one that's like, it's okay. So the first one is one that I just found recently. Orly sent it in one of their festive gifting trios, and it is great. It's called Deck the Halls. It is a green and red matte glitter topper with gold hollow, tiny, tiny gold hollow in the base, and I think it's great. Tons come out on each pass, so you don't need more than one pass for your application, and just the green is so bright, so it's like a really standout effective glitter, and the base isn't too base heavy, so plenty of glitter comes out. I think that they just did a really, really good job with that one. And then the other one that I think is okay, and that's because you can add it to all of your red and green polishes, because this is a mainly yellow and white glitter called Gold Key to the Kingdom. And as far as OPI glitters, I generally don't really love them very much, because I feel like they're always like the same glitter size. They don't have a lot of variation in their formulation of glitters. And I usually don't really care for the colors, but I feel like this one is more of a refined look, and I think it does look pretty good compared to their other glitters. So I'm gonna go ahead and recommend those 2. And that is going to be all of my holiday 2023 recommendations, mainstream brand best holiday polishes, in my opinion. All right, and that's all I have for you today. So I hope that you found some good things today. If any of your very favorite holiday mainstream polishes were not included in here, please leave them in the comments below so that we can all read them and be reminded of some more awesome shades. Thanks for letting me visit with you today. I'll see you back for another video very soon. I hope I'm getting you in the holiday mood. Take care until next time. Bye.